My first exposure to Michigan nonprofits and foundations was probably when I was working for Governor Milliken in the 1970s. Even in that era, the foundations were trying to partner with state government on many different recreational, human service issues. And then when I left the governor's office in the early 80s, I became active in a public policy consulting firm, public sector consultants, and we just treasured our relationships with foundations and with nonprofit organizations, many of the trade and professional associations in Lansing, the big healthcare systems. And the relationships were warm. They were, I hope, mutually satisfying. And so yes, I go back quite a ways. I had kind of a crazy early liking of politics. I can actually remember the Stevenson-Eisenhower campaign of 1956. How old was I? 7. That's how young I started getting it in my blood, and it'll probably never leave my blood at this point. I love politics. I like public policy now more, and how government works. I like government processes. How I got to meet Governor Milliken, how I got to be lucky enough to actually join his staff was, again, through not who you know, who you got to know. I was a volunteer on U of M's campus for the Washington County Republican Party. I said to the county chair one day, her name was Nancy Chase, I said, is there any candidate out here, a Republican candidate, who I could help in their personal campaign? She said, there is. She said, we have this fine legislator who's got a new district. His name is Ray Smith. And she said, if you'd like, I'll pick up the phone and call Ray and see if he could use another volunteer. He did. I did. We had a successful campaign, got elected. About a year later, I discover that I am supposed to take a summer internship during my master's program at U of M in public policy, and that I have to have some kind of a government-related job for the summer, instead of going, as I had always planned to do, back to the railroad to make a fortune and pay off my school responsibilities. So I called Ray Smith, and I said, could you kind of snoop around Lansing and see if by any chance there'd be an internship, maybe even a little pay for some job? He calls me back within an hour. He said, how would you like to work for Governor Milliken? I said, whoa. Came up the next day for an interview, hired on the spot, and again, it's just one of those serendipitous moments. But again, it's all a function of how many people, you can reach out to, get to know, bond with. Well, one lesson I've already passed on to our 26-year-old daughter who lives in New York. Actually, 2 things. Number one is a love of culture in all its different forms, not just the fine arts and not just arts in general, but just culture, the way people behave, and the things they create. That stuck. That's in her gene pool now. The other thing, though, is to always be attentive to your friends' needs. And as your friends expand, their needs are going to expand, and there's going to be demands on you. And don't ever view that as a burden. View that as a great opportunity to help, a friend in need. And I think that will extend in her life to her being very charitable in her volunteer activities. Maybe she'll never get rich, but to the extent she can be somewhat generous in giving to causes, that will be it.